So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, thou shalt hear the word of my mouth, and warn them from me.
Have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location in Middle Tennessee and examining current events from a biblical perspective, this is Bible News Radio with your hosts, Randall and Stacy Harp.
All right. Hey, everybody. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Bible News Radio. Glad that you're here with me. We are back live finally. Yay! We survived, in this last week, approximately 30 hours in the car. No lie, people. No lie at all. I mean, that was a long trip. Yeah, it was. Anyway, I want to welcome you all here to the show. If you're watching the archive, feel free to go ahead and share it out as well. You can share it out on Facebook, Periscope, Twitter, and if for some reason you're actually listening to the audio archive of this on iTunes, you can write a review there. You can follow us on our YouTube page as well and all that other stuff. And I just want to say thank you guys for all your prayers during the trip to celebrate my 50th birthday and also to cover the Prophecy Watchers Conference. I got a really cool story I'm going to share with you in a little bit. But first I want to say hi to Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer! I love you too, girl. And John, yes, my back is fine. Perfectly fine. Now, I may or may not play pickleball tonight. We'll see. Yeah, we will. All right, so today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about the 20th anniversary of Matthew Shepard and what some news sources are saying. And we're also going to talk about the most recent update with Facebook and this big, huge security breach. I think you'll find some of the news I'm going to share very interesting. I hope. I mean, after all, it's all in the delivery, right? I mean, if I don't deliver it well, you might go, what? This is Snoozeville. Yeah, just so you know, I am tired. In case you're wondering. All right, here we go. And that's it. All right, people. All right, so hey, let me go ahead and get over here, over on Facebook, and I'm going to go ahead and share this out, because that's what we do here at Bible News Radio, a two-person production. Yeah, we are, and we're proud of it. I have to give a shout-out to Randall. Hey, Randall! That was good, wasn't it? Oh my God, Randall drove us almost literally 2,000 miles. And it was close. It was probably about 1,800 miles by the time our round trip was done.
Yeah, about that.
And he did good. I mean, he drove in the rain. He drove all of it. I didn't even drive out of the driveway. In fact, he asked me to start this car. Do you remember what kind of car was it that we rented? Do you remember?
It was a Mazda CX-5.
Okay. What year? Do you know?
I don't know. It's pretty new. Seemed fairly new to me, newer than our cars.
Okay.
But it had like 20,000 miles on it, something like that.
Yeah, well, I couldn't even get the dumb thing started. It was so technologically above my pay grade.
I'm guessing because you didn't have the brake depressed when you pushed the start button.
I don't know. I'm going to take
That's required.
I'm taking these earbuds out, though, because I don't need them. Wait. Because I don't want to go deaf like I did a couple of weeks ago. My ears were ringing, and all that. Anyway, yeah, Randall did a awesome job driving us across the country to Texas. Yeah. There were parts, honestly, you guys, where it was pitch black. I mean, like pitch black.
Well, the fact that it was overcast.
It was overcast.
So there was no moonlight.
Pitch black. It was so dark. And of course, on the way home, those of you who are aware of Prophecy Watchers and the topic the L.A. Marzulli and Pastor Billy Crone talked about as far as UFOs and stuff, me and Randall were driving home at night, and it was dark, and we're like, this would be the perfect scene in a movie for UFOs. Yeah, it would. It'd be a perfect scene.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Anyway. It's nothing to laugh about, really. I shouldn't be even laughing about that, but Yeah, you're pointing at me.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, okay, all right. Anyway, we met some really cool people at the Prophecy Watchers event, and I gotta tell you, if you're new and you're watching our show, this is what we actually look like when we're not in person out of the box. What are you looking for?
Well, you keep brushing against your microphone cable, and
I do.
yeah.
I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna be just like this. Okay. All right. So, anyway, so there's a couple of things I want to talk about. First of all, I want to share with you that Bob Ulrich and Gary Stearman actually invited Randall and I to come to Prophecy Watchers as Bible News Radio to cover the event. And maybe you guys already know this, but for me, it was a really, it's actually a very humbling experience to know that we do this show and we reach a certain audience. And we're not your typical Christian broadcaster. We're not out there trying to be, sensationalist or anything. We're just us, right? And Bob Ulrich in particular is the guy that invited us to come back a second year to cover the conference. And I have to tell you what happened on, I guess it was Friday night. Hey, Tyler. Hey, I'm talking about Bob. Maybe you know this. Maybe you don't. So anyway, Randall and I, we went out to dinner. Friday, was it Friday night or Saturday? No, it was Sunday night. I don't even know what day it is. Sunday night after the conference was over. We were in the restaurant. Me and him, we were talking about how cool it was that Prophecy Watchers has the opportunity to get a new building, $100 short, just so you know. So if anybody wants to add a couple of bucks to our jar so that we can continue to pay off that debt, that would be really cool. But he actually said that. He actually handed us, actually he didn't even hand it. He took this $100 bill out of the table. He plopped it on our dinner table and he said, "Dinner's on me." And me and Randall were really blessed by that and very touched by that. Because we were. Because we do what we do. Honestly, because we're called to. But honestly, because we love it. And, well, we're called to do it. So whether or not you're going to get paid or not, that's kind of how you know what your calling is. If you're getting paid for it, and you're getting extremely blessed because you're being paid to do your work, and you can live off it, awesome. If you're not and you're still doing it, then, as I always say, your reward in heaven is great, because it really is. I mean,
The retirement plan is out of this world.
Yeah, we're supposed to be building up treasures in heaven anyway, but that was just such a kind gesture, and and so we paid for dinner, and I had $50 left over, which was kind of appropriate because I just got done celebrating my 50th birthday, so I kind of thought that was kind of neat to do, to have that special blessing. And then, of course, a number of you, Mia and John and Sylvia, and a couple of you actually donated a little bit extra to us for the trip. Mark did as well. And so, thank you. I'll give you guys a shout out for that. Melanie gave me $50 for my birthday as well, and I want to thank Melanie again for doing that, because, Melanie works 2 jobs. And so that's just, I'm just very touched by those of you, us, and some of you have, you don't have you have a little extra that we don't, and you give out of that, and we appreciate that too. So that was really cool. So that was kind of a neat way to end our week-long adventure going to Texas. I ended up spending a couple of days with my friend Cheryl and her husband Joe and friend Beverly. Cheryl, Joe, and Beverly are probably the utmost cream of the crop when it comes to Christians. They are the real deal. They are people who are humble, and they opened their beautiful home to Randall and I. They fed us the whole time. We didn't have to pay for anything. Their house is luxurious. I swear, it was gorgeous. And not only that, but Cheryl and I, we had a really good time of prayer together. And Joe, I got to meet him for the first time, and he's a man of God who, displayed God's grace and mercy. And then we got to meet their home church, which was super, super cool. They let me speak. Yes, I shared that feminine pad coupon story with that whole home church, which was really cool. And it was just, my heart was really full having left Cheryl's house and then going down to Oklahoma. The only thing I didn't like, and yes, I didn't like it, was the car ride itself. I'm not a big fan of long car rides, but I have to say that even in that, I have grown to appreciate it. Even on the road, we met some really interesting people that really, really blessed our hearts. So to all of you out there who contributed and all that, and warmly welcomed me into the 50s decade, thank you. Somebody said, you are now over the hill. Yeah.
You're a semi-centenarian.
Yeah, that was Grover, actually. Yeah, we picked up our dogs and our cat this morning, and they were super happy to see us. They were like, yay!
And while in the great state of Texas, we were also able to meet up with Cat and Mike.
Cat and Mike, too.
Hello.
Yeah, and they bought us lunch.
Yeah.
And gave me some really cool gifts, which was super neat.
Quite generous and what?
Yeah.
And genuine folk as well.
Yeah, in fact, I'm wearing socks that Cat gave me right now, literally. and she gave me some really cool smelling soap, pineapple scented soap. I don't know, that's kind of different. Anyway, yeah, so it was really, really cool. In fact, lipstick too, but I'm wearing a darker color for the screen, people. All right, so anyway, so that was our trip. We will be sharing more later. But I wanted to read you a couple scriptures before we get in and we talk about this Matthew Shepard thing, because this is interesting, right? Matthew Shepard was murdered 20 years ago, right? And everybody condemns murder. I don't care who it is, right? I don't care if it's a preborn baby or a living person, gay, straight, whatever. All murder is condemned. Just so you know, I mean, it's sad that anybody has to say that, but let's just put it out there, lest there's some dimwit in the audience going, oh my gosh, Bible News Radio isn't condemning anything like murder. But of course, anybody, getting murdered, that's not good, just so you know. But deception is on the rise, and that was one of the biggest themes for me as the interviewer of all the speakers, and I shared this in numerous interviews. Randall hasn't had time to get any of those cut yet, but we'll get some to you soon. But that was a big theme in the interviews that I talked to people about, was the idea of end times deception. And one of the big things that actually was addressed by more than one speaker had to do with how the church is deceived and how the church is beguiled. I like that word. A guy named Nathan, a young man, actually, you're going to see that interview and be blown away by it, talked about the idea of how many in the church are